Doesn't it seem like every time you are given a word by the Lord that He will open up doors and then all of a sudden you're facing a battle? If that's you in this season, this podcast is for you. Hello, Remnants. Thank you for joining me on another episode here at Remnant Rising. I'm your host, Selena Blackston. I have heard so many people talk about how, when God opens up doors, that it's easy to get to the other side, that it's really just, that the Lord is opening up the doors because the transition is easy. And, this last season that I went through, the Lord was revealing to me that that is not always the case. Yes, there are times where we cross over into that place that the Lord has promised us with ease. But we can find stories throughout the whole Bible about how there were battles being faced every time the Lord commissioned someone or a group of people to cross into a place where He wanted them to be. So I was reminded of the story of Paul and how he was on this destination trip to Italy, and God had commissioned him to go there before Caesar. And he had to get confirmation, right? Because he did follow in those directions, but there was just so much war. There was so much chaos. It was, the battle in the sea. It was the battle in the people that he was confronting with to get to the island, to get to the other side. He ended up on this island, right, with these foreigners, and there was still some warfare going on. And then he eventually went into that place that the Lord called him to be. And so today's word, I just wanted to share that passage, Acts 27, when the Lord commissioned Paul to go before Caesar. He had set sail to Italy and encountered many of the challenges, and many times he thought he was going to die. But the verse that the Lord had really pointed out to me was when the angel had came before him and said, "Don't be afraid, Paul. You must be brought before Caesar, and indeed God has granted you all those who sail with you." And so many times I feel like we hear the direction of God. We know what He's commissioned us to do, and He will open up those doors. And what I saw in the Spirit this week was open doors and open windows. And as those open doors and open windows, God has opened them, and He has confirmed to us over and over again of the direction in which we will go. It isn't always so easy to get through that door to get to the other side. There's the enemy waiting there on that at that doorway. There is a group of people perhaps that is waiting on the other side that challenge you to try to keep you from walking into that destiny. So this is a word for someone in this season, that do not allow the enemy to stop you in your tracks and what God has commissioned you to do. If He has given you a word, have confidence in that, and knowing that the Lord has given you that, even though there's battles that we know we have to face, right, to get to that place. Once you get to the other side, the Lord will start to reveal more and more to you. And many times, in my experience, the Lord doesn't reveal everything at one time before you get there. But He will walk us through those storms. He will walk us through those battles. He does walk us through those challenges. And so this is an encouraging word for today. And I hope you have been blessed by this short podcast here on Remnant Rising. And until then, keep rising, Remnant. Thank you for joining me on my podcast today. If you like what you heard, please subscribe. Also, don't forget, we'll be back on next Saturday.